Well, after a full summer of building out my Sprinter van, I finally decided to take the long Labor Day weekend to enjoy nature and give the van a little test run. We finally installed the base cabinet for the kitchen, and we got the fridge all hooked up and running. In this episode, I get organized on what exactly there is left to do for the van as the days get much shorter and a lot colder. What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday? Happy Wednesday. I honestly can't even believe it, but we got snow yesterday. We got our first snowfall the day after Labor Day here up in the mountains and really all over the western. I know like Colorado got some. I know Jackson Hole got some snow as well, but it literally feels like just like last week I was putting up the sound deadening in here when it was snowing outside. So I can't believe that the summer has essentially came to a close that quickly. And now it's like cold. Like my batteries were like giving me like a low temperature warning today, and like I'm in like a full sweatsuit. Like it's cold. So it's supposed to warm up this weekend and kind of the next week. So I don't think we've completely gotten into the cold weather yet, but it sure is crazy that we're already like in fall. First order of business I have to do is clean out the entire van. I still have all the crap in here from when I went to Jackson Hole this past weekend, so I really need to clean everything out and kind of get the van back down to like a working space. The days are already getting so short. I literally only have about like 2 hours from when I get home from work to when it's basically pitch dark out, which is just crazy. So it doesn't give me a lot of time during the week anymore, but that's the first thing I have to do is clean this whole thing out. Okay, now that this is all cleared out for the most part, I'm the type of person who needs to like make a list when I have things to do. If I'm just trying to do it in my head and like mentally keep track of things, I get super stressed out. So I need to further break things down into like 2 different lists. One of like major projects that I have left, and then one of more like minor projects that I have left. The major projects I have, and the projects that are seemingly the most interesting, are finishing the butcher block countertop. That includes installing it and putting in the stove and the sink and all the other features for my counter. Another part of that is installing the subway tile, the backsplash of the kitchen, which is really gonna bring this whole thing to life. I think the last big thing is actually putting down the floor. So I still need to pick that up. That is the actual like complete last thing I'm going to do. It's way colder than it looks. My hands are freezing and my nose is running, and it just smells like cold. You guys know what I'm talking about when it just smells cold? That's where we're at right now. Anyways, the minor things I need to do are definitely not as interesting to watch, but I think they make all the difference. So for example, I need to basically give everything one final paint coat. I painted everything before, but as we worked on the van, things have gotten dirty, fingerprints, smudges, scratched, everything. So I basically kind of need to go back in and clean and resand and then give one last final nice looking coat of paint. I need to punch it in for dramatic effect because I realized I just forgot a major piece here that I'm gonna be doing, and that is the table. I need to put in my table. That's one of the things that was the biggest damper this weekend in Jackson, was I just had nowhere to put stuff because I didn't have a table. So I need to install my table. Cannot forget that. Another minor thing I cannot forget to do is polyurethane my oak step piece, I guess. This thing that my feet are on. The polyurethane protects everything. It seals it up so it doesn't get scuffed and things just don't make it dirty, if that makes sense. So I can't forget to do that. And then really lastly, I need to install all of my electrical switches and things like that. I need to put those in. I have some of the electrical stuff already hooked up. I have the heater, I have my fridge, and I have the fan, things like that all already hooked up. So I know how to do it. It's just a matter of mounting the switches and securing. That reminds me of something else. I need to secure the batteries and secure the inverter and just finalize those pieces. I need to install the outlets and all the other electrical gremlins. So it's like once you start making this list, you realize how much more stuff you have to do. Because now I realize I'm supposed to be putting a shelf there and there. So I guess I also need to put my shelves in. My plan is to kind of crush out some of the minor stuff because you can kind of get some stuff off the list. It doesn't take a long time, and then when I have a little bit more help, I'll be able to knock off some of these bigger categories here. But that's basically the plan, is to kind of get all of this done in my next haul. 4 or 5 days should be able to knock some of this stuff out. quick note on my trip this weekend to Jackson. I'm actually really excited that I did do that because I kind of got a feel for how the van is going to work, what works well, what doesn't work well, and what might need some fine tuning. But all in all, I think it was a super successful trip. In terms of mechanically, like driving out there and back, this thing was bulletproof. I didn't go any faster than about 73 miles an hour, but I basically was able to set the cruise at 73 and it just stayed there the entire way. So super comfortable to drive, a lot of space kind of up in the chair, and very quiet. Super impressed with how quiet it is on the road. I think basically all the steps we took of the sound deadening, then the wool, then just having stuff in the van really helped with the sound and the road noise. So now that I'm organized with the van and it's cleared out and I kind of have my to-do list, I now need to organize like my actual shop, van, tool center, because it is an absolute disaster. The thing hasn't been cleaned in a long time. So I'm gonna fire up the oven to get dinner going on, and then because we lost daylight, I'm gonna get this organized so tomorrow, right after work, we can actually get some work done. Well, hello there guys. I feel like today is a bit warmer, but still getting those fall smells and the fall kind of feels. So I know that the weather, it's not going to be warm for too much longer. But I feel like apart from the solar and your electronics, there's like a whole other category, which is like your plumbing and like your water and things like that. So today on my lunch break, I was kind of experimenting with how I'm going to be able to fit all my water and what that's going to look like underneath here, because that's really my next big step to make this thing livable, is to get all my water hooked up. Now, let me take you guys out of the sink there. We'll put you up where there's a little better light. So here is my 12 volt SureFlow water pump. These are pretty standard for RVs and vans and things like that. This is kind of like the go-to model to get. So you can just see here we have our red and black. I ran the wire down there, so that's this is falling. That is what is gonna power my water. There's a few other pieces that I think I have, but I'm sure I'll be in for some surprises when the time comes. And then my other thing I have, which is way bigger than I thought, this is a 2-stage water filter. There's basically a sediment filter and then a carbon filter, and this is gonna be for all of my drinking water. So what's gonna be cool about this is when you're filling up from different sources and you're not really sure where your water's coming from, even though it may say it's safe to drink, this will just be one final kind of pass through that I will use for my drinking water. So I basically need to mount these underneath the sink and still be able to leave room for my water jugs, my water tanks, and all the other hoses and stuff. So this right here is my wire for my water pump. So I have a lot of slack where I can put that. But basically what I'm thinking is putting this filter system somewhere up here and then put the pump somewhere underneath it like this, or potentially even on this back wall. My goal would be to take 15 gallons of water, so like 3 5-gallon jugs or something around that, and then 1 5-gallon gray water tank where the waste will go, and then I'll just have to swap things out as I rotate through. For now, I think in the future I might put an actual water tank in, but at this point I just need to get this finished and like comfortably livable. More fall color up here than there is. This place is covered with aspens, and I thought this time of year we would see more of the color. So hopefully we didn't just like completely like miss that whole season and where everything just kind of turns to brown yuck. But in about 3 to 4 weeks, this whole area will be closed down just because of the snow. This will be closed and you won't be able to get up here. So I love coming up here, especially this time of year, because you can see just how much different the weather is. It's windy, it's cold. We're almost up around 10,000 feet. I think we're probably around 8,500. So it's really cool to come up here and just see the difference in weather and things like that. So I hope you guys are enjoying where the van is. I hope you guys are enjoying kind of these smaller updates right now. My plan is to get a lot of that checklist done this weekend, and then when I have some help coming in next week, we're gonna knock out all the bigger side of things. So
Please drop a comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know if you have any questions or suggestions with where the van is going. I love talking with you guys and seeing you guys in the comments. So with all that being said, thank you guys so very much for watching another one of my episodes. The light is so good right now. Check it, just over that mountain there. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see all of you guys in the next episode next week. Take it easy, fam. Peace out.